Tech Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss about another scenario for Get Diagnostic. Mainly, we are going to discuss a process through which we can retrieve the SQL state value through Get Diagnostic statement. Okay, so before we discuss the program, let me show you one table on which we are going to perform some operation, and then on that particular query we are going to discuss how we can use the Get Diagnostic statement. Okay, so here I'm running one command strsql and then running one query. Select star from, this is just a normal query, Sharmit1 slash, and my file name is students. Okay, so here you can see we have only one record with the ID 100 and student name is test. Only one record with ID 100. Fine, just keep this in mind that we have only one record with a student ID 100. Now we will walk through the program. So here what we are doing, first of all we are declaring one variable which is gd_info of character 5. Now there might be one question, why we define and how we know that we need the variable of character type of length 5. Okay, so as I told you that in this session we are going to discuss about the returned SQL state which we can retrieve with the help of Get Diagnostic statement. So when you visit IBM official website, there you will find a list for all the possible outcomes, or you can say all the possible statement that we can use with the help of Get Diagnostic function along with their data type and length. So simply go to that search for Get Diagnostic in ibmi, then visit the IBM official website. There you will find the table where if you search for returned SQL state, it will show you which type of data type we need to retrieve this value and what should be the length. So from there you can easily identify, yes, we need character type of 5 length to store the returned SQL state value. Okay, so from there we got this information, so I just declared it. Now this is the result variable varchar 40. This is just for the program flow, like if you would like to move this value to some other value variable, then you can use this. Otherwise it is up to you, like how you are using it, but the main focus is that like how we are utilizing the Get Diagnostic in order to fetch the returned SQL state. Okay, now below to this, what we are doing, we are setting the commitment control option to star none. So here we are just doing commit equals to star none. Now if you move forward, you will see that we are using one query here which is for executing SQL delete from Sharmit1, which is my library name, slash students, which is my file name, where student ID is 500. But when I show you the data, table data, we notice that there is only one record and with student ID 100, right? It means there is no data available in the file with the student ID 500. But from this query, we are trying to delete the record whose student ID is 500. So in this case, it should return SQL state other than 5 times 0, because SQL state 5 times 0 means the query has been executed successfully. But in this case, it is not executing successfully because we are trying to delete that record which is not even exist in the file. So that means here we will get the value which is not 5 times zeros. Okay, so just after executing this SQL state, we will check for the Get Diagnostic. Here I'm using exec SQL Get Diagnostics condition 1. Now this is a bit different syntax we were using previously. We were just using Get Diagnostic and then we are retrieving the value, but this time we are using condition 1. What does it mean? It means that we are retrieving the value for the current SQL status, means the previous SQL status. So I just mention here condition 1, just copy paste in the same manner, just write Get Diagnostics condition 1, and this is my host variable gd_info, which we have already discussed when we were declaring that, right? Then we are retrieving the value which is returned SQL state. So whatever the value it will fetch from the returned SQL state will be stored into this GD info variable. Post that, just for the flow purpose, I am trimming this value and storing it to result, although you can directly show this GD info because both are character type, but just for the to use the trim function, I use it, and I'm just moving it to result, and then I am printing the result variable. Okay, and then we are setting the star INLR to star on. So let's see how it will work. Let's compile this program and call this. So once I call this, it is returning the SQL state as 2000. Now there are a couple of questions. What is the meaning of SQL state and how we will identify which type of issue we are facing? So first thing is that SQL state is SQL state will tell us the condition, like whether the query is executed successfully or not, or it will return the status value through which we can identify what is the meaning of like if there is any kind of failure, so what is the reason, and if there is any success message, then how we will identify that, right? So SQL 2000 means end of file. There is no record available. Why? Because we are trying to delete the record whose student ID is 500, but in file we saw that there is no record available with the ID 500. So that's why it is returning SQL 2000. But right now we know that this is 2000 means end of file, but it might be possible that there is some other issue in the query or any other SQL state we got from the query. So in that case, what you can do, you can simply search over the internet what is the meaning of SQL state 2000 or whatever the SQL state. Let's say we got 01234, something like this. Okay, so just go to the net, search for SQL state 2000 or whatever the value you have got. Then once you visit the IBM official website, you will find a meaning of that particular SQL state, and then you can take your corrective measures. Let's say for this, if I want to show a message that end of file occur, so I can simply print the message whenever SQL state is 2000. Okay, so this is how we can easily utilize Get Diagnostics in order to fetch the SQL state. Now, one more thing. This Get Diagnostic is totally dependent on the most recent executed SQL statement. It means the most recent is just about to this is this query is just about to the statement of Get Diagnostics. So it will only tell us about this statement, not the entire program. If after this Get Diagnostic we run another query and then again use the Get Diagnostic, so in that case it will refer to the last executed SQL statement, not to this one. Okay, so wherever you are using Get Diagnostic, it will always look previous value or previously executed SQL statement, and whatever the SQL status we are getting from there, it will be fetched into this GD info, and then we are printing it. Okay, so you can say that yes, SQL state and SQL code is somehow similar thing, because both are informing us like what is the actual meaning of the query, or what is the status written by the query, right? So in some of the project developers are using SQL code, and in some cases they are using SQL state, but in my case, like, I always go with SQL state, because when you got the information regarding SQL state, then it would be much easier for you to go and check out all the possible meaning or error definitions, right, over SQL code. So you can say SQL state is much standardized as compared to the SQL code. Okay, so what we have learned in this session, we have learned how we can utilize Get Diagnostic statement in order to fetch the returned SQL state value. Now there is two things, SQL code and SQL state. In previous session we discussed about DB2 returned SQL code, right? But here the syntax is different. Here the statement is not DB2 underscore returned SQL state, it is only returned SQL state. So just keep in mind that both the statement are not same. We have to put different statement value in order to fetch the information. Okay, so accordingly you can utilize, and it is up to you. If you would like to go with SQL code, you can. If you would like to go with SQL state, then it is also fine. But I always recommend you to go with SQL state, because if you are using SQL state, then it would be easier for you to find out the actual reason of the error, and then you can take your corrective measures. Okay, so I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.